India has slipped into a recession. Its economy shrank by 7.5% in the July to September period. This follows a record slump of nearly 24% in the preceding 3 months. And even as India struggles to fight the pandemic, analysts say they expect GDP to also contract in the December quarter. For the current fiscal year, the economy is seen shrinking by 8.7%. That would be India's worst economic performance in at least 4 decades. Rebecca Bundan is live in Mumbai. Rebecca, this is a historic first recession, but there are signs that recovery is underway.
Yes, that's right. So this now confirms that India technically is in the recession officially. Now, that 7.5% contraction, of course, is a significant improvement if we compare it to the previous quarter, April to June, which was when India was really at the peak of the lockdown with so many businesses closed. And then it saw a contraction of 23.9%. So we can already see with that quarter to September, there's been a significant improvement to a contraction of 7.5%. That's still, of course, negative. But it represents a bit of a pickup, quite a significant pickup, as the economy did start to reopen gradually after that lockdown first introduced in March. And the government really did allow a lot of businesses to reopen steadily over the past few months to actually revive the economy after, of course, so many livelihoods and businesses were hit hard by that lockdown. Now, going forwards as well, there are expectations that things could pick up further, and by early next year, that India could actually emerge from this recession. That's what economists are forecasting. But there are also risks on the horizon as well. But the expectations are that things have now started to pick up a bit. Businesses have reopened. Demand is coming back. Consumer demand is coming back quite significantly, which is helping a lot. However, having said that, with a contraction of 7.5%, India is an economy that needs to be seeing growth of upwards of 8% in its GDP to actually be creating enough jobs for its population, which is a young population, half of the population under the age of 25, and about 1 million people entering the workforce every month. So these are really not the kinds of numbers that India wants to be seeing.
And on the risks of on the horizon that you mentioned, what are the biggest challenges ahead, you think?
Well, a lot really hinges on a vaccine coming through and that being distributed across India. That would be really a big boost for the country, and that would get things moving again in terms of the economy and allowing businesses to really boost their operations as people become much less cautious about going out and so on. That would be the biggest boost. If that doesn't come through as expected, that's obviously going to be a big hurdle. And now, of course, as well, the numbers of cases. India has been seeing large numbers of cases still on a daily basis, more than 40,000 fresh confirmed cases being added on a daily basis. It's still the second worst affected country behind the United States, with more than 9.3 million confirmed COVID-19 cases. Some cities have been seeing a surge in the numbers, and some states have even introduced their own restrictions, like night curfews, for example, in parts of Gujarat. So that's the biggest worry. If there's a significant surge across the country in the numbers of infections, particularly as people have started to move about a lot more, particularly during this festival season that's been going on as well, that could really be a big risk. And that could, especially if states start to introduce more and more restrictions, again, some businesses could then be impacted once again. And that's really the biggest worry going forwards, what happens with the numbers of infections in India.